creative crew, welcome back to my channel. It's Create with Kayla. If you're new, welcome. Today we're going to be creating this Dollar Tree vessel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so let's get right into it. So I recently discovered these really large pots at the Dollar Tree, and what you're going to do is you're going to start by cutting out a hole in the bottom of only one of the pots. So this is going to act as your hole for your plants, your flowers, whatever you want to go inside of the vessel. So I want to be transparent with you guys. This is how I tried it out the first time, but it did not work. So you actually have to hold it in place. And I wanted to use some E6000 glue so it stayed after I glued it together. So this is me messing it up, and then I'm going to show you how to do it the correct way. So here I am putting E6000 glue on here, and I just put a light coat. It wasn't too crazy, but I want you to understand that you don't have to worry about the chunky pieces from the hot glue because we're actually going to cover that up. You don't have to worry about those hot glue gun pieces. It's all gonna piece out together in the end. All you need to do is you need to hold the planter pots together and then take the glue gun and then seal around the edge of the whole entire planter pots. I do apologize for this angle, but this is the best angle I could get with my stand. Next, you're going to grab some masking tape, and what you're going to do is you're going to trace around where the two planter pots meet. And you don't have to worry about perfection because we are going to be covering this up with plaster, so do not worry about that. Here's what it looks like when you put the masking tape on where the two pots meet. So this step, what I'm doing is I'm just going around all these divots with the masking tape because it's going to cut out all those pockets that they have on the top of the rim, so it'll give it a more natural vase look. Once again, it does not have to be perfect because you are going to be covering this with plaster. This step is optional. You can put masking tape around the bottom pieces of where you left off, but it's absolutely optional. The plaster is going to thicken and it's going to cover everything up. Here I am just adding one last strip of masking tape to make sure that it looks very seamless when I put the plaster on. Made this mixture, I did not take any measurements, but what I did was I put about 8 to 10 scoops of plaster, and I also added water, but if I had too much water, I made sure that I let it dry down a little bit and add a little bit more plaster mix. That way that when it does thicken, it thickens in a nice consistency. If you allow it to dry too fast, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to use the plaster. So make sure you're working really quick when you're working with plaster. Here I am testing it. As you can see, it's very liquidy and watery. If it does not stick to it, that means you need to wait a little bit longer for the plaster to get a thicker consistency. Or you need to add more mixture like I did here to make the consistency thicker. As you can see, my consistency is thicker, so now you can see that the plaster is adhering to the planter pot very nicely. Once again, I do apologize about my angle, but here's a side view of me putting the plaster on there. You just have to work really quickly and in up and down motions in order to get a really nice look. And this is only the first coat. Make sure you're going in a up and down motion and you're getting all the nooks and cracks of the whole entire planter. This is going to make or break if you have to do a third coat. So just make sure you get everything painted with the plaster. And here's what our first coat looks like. Now for the second coat, I did flip it upside down, and here I am just making my mixture all over again. Alright, so I'm just going to repeat what I did at the beginning, and you're just going to make your up and down strokes, and make sure you do it how you like it, because this is going to be almost the end result of your vessel. When you finish this off, you can either leave the color as is, which it'll be a very white, or you can do what I did. Was I wanted a distressed look, so what I did was I grabbed some paint in the color dark taupe from Craftsmart, and what you're going to do is you're going to pour it in while it's still wet, and you have to do this while it's still wet, and you're going to mix your brush in, and you're just going to pat it really hard and really nice in order to get that color on there. And you're also going to use your hands to smooth it out and make sure you have it however you look. And this is very customizable. As you can see, I tested on my hand to see if I was going to like the color. So test that out first before you go all in. But I did use the color dark taupe. And this is what it looks like from a side view. And then I started pushing my hands into it, getting into it, you know, flexing it out, making sure it's how I liked it. So once again, this is customizable however you want to, or you could just keep it the same color that it was at the beginning. But this is how I wanted it to look. I wanted it to look very distressed and like it rolled in the dirt look. Alright, and here's your final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this and had so much fun like I did. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more DIYs.